good morning. Let me apologize for coming late. I was engaging on GTV. Let me wish my learned friend a good morning. Paul, good morning. First time meeting you. My accountant himself, a good morning. Well, so my view on whether or not the breaches are enough or weighty enough to lead to the removal of the Chief Justice, for me, reflects on a tolerance level for misconduct. I think this week in the UK, Deputy Prime Minister has resigned for some disparities in the payment of his stamp duty. So he attempted to pay the stamp duty. I think, except that he paid something much lower than expected, and yet because of that, he has been removed from office. Well, if it was in Ghana, we'll be saying that, just a stamp duty. You understand? So for me, I think the issue of whether the weight doesn't come in at all, it shouldn't come in. It shouldn't come in at all. My honest views about this is the weakness of Article 146. That's for me. I think that's the biggest issue. I think, in my opinion, that should have been the center of or it should have captured
I think that will come second.
But yeah, so but in terms of whether or not what constituted misconduct, whether or not they were wicked enough. My personal view is that it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. And the CJ itself said that you can do all the propaganda you want, you can make all the noise you want. The law is the law. As the law stands today, the CJ did some 3 things that she was not supposed to do. In the opinion of the committee that constitutes stated misconduct, for which reason she should be removed. And for me, I can't make any legal argument against that. When I was coming, I had my own accountant and very good friend.
I'm surprised. You think that the Chief Justice should be removed because, for example, she transferred a member of the Judicial Service. You think that is okay?
Is it a misconduct?
I mean, really?
No. The question is it a misconduct?
How is that misconduct? It is a committee that came to that conclusion. How is that a misconduct?
Listen.
What was the basis for removal? So they made that decision. They came to the conclusion that
listen. I think the issue is the 3 grounds for which she is being removed are the misconducts. So if we are making an argument,
who decides if they are misconduct?
The committee, per Article 146, where what's called a prima facie case has been made, then a committee ought to be set up. It's the duty of the committee to decide whether or not the grounds for which we've passed, whether or not they constitute a prima facie case, whether or not enough evidence has been adduced to determine whether or not indeed she breached those misconduct. You understand? As to the weight, as to the threshold, there's nothing in the Constitution, and we don't have anything by way of precedents to determine. And that's why I'm saying that for me, the biggest issue is one of review of Article 146. Also, I think an argument that suggests that the removal is premised on just politics is one that you struggle to justify. One, now the removal is based on the petition of Daniel Ofori. Now, if you know the person of Daniel Ofori, then you are going to struggle to prove that indeed he was influenced by His Excellency John Mahama and his government.
Not exactly, but the ground was fertile for it. So the point is, he might have taken advantage of the fertile ground to do so.
See, he is a petitioner. Now, all the arguments that has been asked to the weight to place or not, I would have agreed if he was the adjudicator, if he was in the position of a judge. But I don't know of any law that says that the weight to be placed on a petition should be determined by whether or not the petitioner is a loggerheads with the accused. You understand? If the Ofori was the judge, then that argument can stand. But for a petitioner, who is making an allegation, because for instance, at the time when he makes the PS petitions, they are allegations. And that's why we set up some people to determine those allegations, to make a determination as to whether or not it constitutes any truth. So, in terms of weight, you can't place any weight, or as I'm saying, I'm struggling to find any law, any basis for why you place weight on a petition based on the relationship between the petitioner and, for want of a better word, the accused. You see, for me, I think that is on trial as principle. I think that is on trial as principle. I think I said this here when my contact was here some time past. Because what would be your moral justification if you did not have the cojones to speak against the application of Article 146 in the case of Derry, in the case of Charlotte Osei, and suddenly you think that you want to have issues with the application of the same Article 146? So the two biggest things.
But I think the one first in this particular one involves the Chief Justice.
But the principle are the same. The only difference is that in this case, because of the potential of breaching the principle of natural justice, they are saying that when it comes to the determination of prima facie case, and then is the president must. But in terms of the principles, they are essentially the same. The human beings may change, but the principle is the same. So as the people, we've sat down and we've allowed this very weak Article 146 that, if I want to also speculate, can be weaponized. Is it the case that when it was being applied against Charlotte Osei, it was used as a weapon? What did we say when the former president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, said that I'm just a conveyor belt? Is John Mahama not just a conveyor belt? And I can't believe...
the context not different, because in the case of Charlotte Osei, the prima facie determination was made by the Chief Justice and the recommendations given to him. And so he just had to carry it through. But in the case of the Chief Justice, he was involved in the determination of the prima facie, if that was not even done by him.
No, but in terms of the principle, it's the same, because where is the president? The Constitution is saying that where the committee has made a decision, you are bound by that decision.
I mean, the determination of the prima facie.
You see, but even so in terms of the principle, it's the same. It shouldn't matter who determines that. At the end of the day, that's why there's always a committee.
Yes, I'm saying that the issue about the conveyor belt
it's the same.
Could be different, because the president was involved in the prima facie determination.
Not sufficiently,
which is key.
Is it not sufficiently enough for you to make an accusation that is the president who's using his politics or is witch hunting the CJ? Because at the prima facie case, you look on the face of the allegation.
Yeah, so you could look at some allegations on the face of it and say, no, there's nothing in this. Yes. Or we don't have much in this to ground the prima facie.
Exactly.
I can look at it and say, no, we have enough to ground the prima facie. It depends on who is dealing with it.
But at the end of the...
So, for example, similar allegations were made. Former President Akufo-Addo thought that there was nothing in there, and so he dismissed it.
Yeah.
But similar allegations made, the issues about the nomination, proposed nominations, etc., were made by Professor Azar. But Nana-Addo, the president, felt that there was nothing in there, and so he dismissed them. So I'm saying that
could have made an argument. Would I have been right? And would I be standing on firm footing if I'd said that based on the perceived association of the judge and the president, like my brother is saying? That's the reason why, in his opinion, he didn't see any prima facie case.
But the point really I'm making is the distinction.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. It's not weighty enough to support a suggestion that the president is witch hunting. Yes, and that's why the person making the petition is important.
It's important.
You understand? And for me, if there's anything beyond the principle, the clear lack of principle, if there's anything that for me is showing here, once again, you see, we can't have this discussion without looking at the review, because I have an issue with the opaque nature of the process. I think I said that the last time. It's so opaque that it gives room for speculation. But the law is the law, unfortunately. You understand? And we've had chances at questioning Article 146 when it was being used against Derry, when it was being used against Charlotte Osei. You understand? So for me, beyond everything else, you see, principle is on trial here. And so it's sad that I have to mention the MPP members. But the manner in which we've politicized this process, the manner in which we've turned this into another MPP-NDC battle, and the position both sides took when it was being applied to Charlotte Osei, betrays our fidelity to principle, to the extent that my brother John can sit on set and be questioning the political affiliations of judges. Nobody is neutral. You see, even the CJ is neutral. But for this system to run, for this system to run, it is in our interest that we do not know where some people, where the allegiance of some people lie in terms of our partisan politics. And that's why our focus ought to be on the principle. And what's the principle here? As the law stands now, if there's because we've not defined what constitutes stated misconduct, as things now, if there's no definition of what constitutes stated, if there's one, maybe I can be educated. Then there'll be no basis for you to question whether or not where there's a proof that indeed there was a misconduct. That because of the weight or lack of...
So that's even a bigger problem, that once you want the person out, no matter what somebody brings, it could have been that, okay, no, maybe she didn't wear her wig well, and by not putting her on her wig well, you could say that's stated misconduct, even though it could be bizarre.
And that's why for me, I feel that the biggest discussion ought to be the review. Because the review is so weak. The review is so weak that it can, it's so easy to remove the CJ. But that shouldn't be the case.
I see.
You understand?